Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to go over 3 coins that I think is a good idea to kind of pay attention to and see where they're going to go. So if you haven't already, do subscribe, drop a comment, and click that bell to keep updated with all our new videos. The first one I'm going to share with you is Ethereum, and of course we're all following Ethereum. Ethereum is trading at $1,342 at this current time. Now, why should you follow this one? Well, we're in kind of a bit of a very important moment. Now, I'm looking at the daily chart here. Of course, we are under the 200 EMA mark. If we're looking at the MACD, of course, it's kind of looks like it's starting to go into an uptrend, but let's go over it, right? Now, if you look at our lines here, we kind of have a few, resistance levels and resistance support levels, but there's one that you should really look at a little bit carefully, and that's this area right here. You can see this in the box. All right, now if you notice, it's getting rejected right along in these areas, and plus it is also previous resistance. So the support, previous resistance, kind of a strong move right here. Now, why you should pay attention to it? More so because we're in a moment where we can actually start to make a big move. Now that big move, the next hurdle that can be coming from Ethereum is 1467. Coming in, that's going to be the next right here that you can kind of see, where you're going to see a little fight through, but not so much of a strong one. The only thing that's going to give me that little bit of a worry is when you look previously at the 1467 mark. Let's go up right here. See, initially we're looking right here. But we're counting these areas because we're going to count that as an area, right? But this line here is something to pay attention to. 1476, sorry, around 1480 to 1460, right around a $20 difference. But this is going to be the next one. So, for example, if we kind of move in and we see a momentum candle pushing up over this resistance point, it's a good moment. If you can enter in just right, you can make a few extra bucks coming in. I mean, we have this one, right, the 1420 coming in, but I don't think it's going to cause much of a problem. Now we can kind of see that fight back just a little bit, and then the big one is going to be here, because if you notice, we have that one contact that would touch the second one, but not even really going to really even consider that one in this one. But here we have multiple rejections, which is going to be a big point. That's why I'm saying this one is going to come in. So from this range coming in here, I just kind of give you that idea. Now, if you can push in and you can enter just right, the right momentum, the right candles coming in, it can do so. Now, we do have a little bit of retracement coming in right on the daily, the last couple of days. But even as we're speaking now, with about 13 hours left of the day, it could move up and overtake this candle, like an engulfing candle coming over. And if you jump back down into the 4-hour chart, for example, we're going to be able to see. Now, it's gaining here, this 4 hours, that you can see is kind of gaining that, the selling power. Let's say, I'm going to call it gaining a selling power, right? And even here, giving it a better idea, on the 4-hour chart, we're over the 200 EMA. Right, so it does kind of give us a little bit of a signal, just barely looking at where we are and where we can move. Now, it did get already rejected here at the 1377, right? You can see that point a little bit closer. And again, this is where that point of contact, and here as well, where we're seeing that fight. Now, we're hoping that it's going to come over and pop off over there and kind of drive the daily up a little bit more. And we really want to see some push, right? Now, that being said, if it does decide to go in reverse, now again, this is just the daily, so you're looking at probably a few candles moving 26, 27, 28, depending on the going, let's say about the 1st of November. If it touches here, you're going to see some fight back as well, depending on where the stop losses are going to be set in this area, right? I'm going to say stop losses are probably around 1238, which can drive it even further. But given that these points of contact that we're kind of covering right here is something that's really strong. I mean, when I say strong, it's really strong in here. Now, the next ones are going to, of course, be here at 900, but it doesn't quite look like we're going to get there just yet. Then some people are calling this accumulation. Kind of hard. I'm not going to call it accumulation at this point, but you get the idea of what's kind of happening, right? So if we can push over and move, the whole idea of where we do want to see is around 1620. This is a good mark where we really want to get pushed over, and it can get driven up if we can start catching momentum and buyers start to see this opportunity. Of course, you'll be stopped at about 1470, like we were talking about earlier, but it could actually potentially move in. So keep an eye on Ethereum right now, and you're going to be able to see what's happening. So either up or down, but this is going to be a good point. So pay attention to that. All right. The next one, I think that you should kind of watch a little bit, and given that there are several things going on, right, is Matic. Right, Matic has been honestly not in the greatest, except for like when we're talking about back in Monday of July, we had a good push into, and of course, something. So kind of similar to what we're coming with Ethereum, Matic, which does kind of follow along. You have these multiple rejection points right here. I mean, multiple. So this is a strong level of resistance here at around 94 cents. Between, I'm going to say 93 and 95, right? So these are good areas kind of watching. Honestly, that's just, we can even move it up a little bit to kind of give you a bit of a better of a point of an area. Moving in, of course, it's also over the 200 EMA to look at this point. So the same thing if you notice, but you have that candle pushing, showing more likely that it's going to go down, at least a good retracement. But overall, that short-term uptrend for the last couple of days is kind of moving, but we need to see that move in even more. Let's take a look here, and I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. So even the MACD is showing pretty good. We want to see that separate more, but however, if it does drop down, we're looking at about 0.88 between about 88 and 79, we could say, just to give you a rough idea. Now, where is that next big stop going to be if it falls below support, right? So if it just does get pushed, and this is where it's going to be triggered by the stop losses, just like Ethereum, right? You're going to have 69, right? Not too far away. And this is a big one here too, pretty strong. But the next one is going to be about 60. And depending on where we get touched and if the stop losses are triggering that to move lower and lower. So that is a hard line. Now, the major one that we can actually see where it can be pushed in is kind of about right here. That market structure, about 31 cents. Now, that's the hard line. That's like when it just completely goes, well, to the bottom, right? However, on the upside of things, if it does push, it fights through this level of resistance, and it can get through the next one, which is going to be here, which is not so strong. I think it can push up, and of course, the hype can push it in even better. We want to see it move to about $1, and that's highly possible. The last time that we had such this semi-accumulation that's kind of happening this upways was about here. So right here, sorry, back in April 21st. Now it's moving in, and it can go either way. Looking at the big picture, I think it could touch again about $1.50. How long that will take, that's well up to the market, in which nothing is left up to chance. But given the fact that there are some strong market structures right here that could be in a way and prolong this way into the future. All right, as far as Solana goes, now Solana's having outages, right? There's a big mess going on in Solana. This is another one. If you're trading right now in Solana, you should definitely pay attention to this one. This one, as we're going, again, 13 hours left, but it looks like we're getting closer and closer to support, and a rather strong one as well, the same, but in a negative aspect. So it looks like we're going to fall down lower. And what I mean by that, and plus, of course, we're already in the bear market, given that the moving averages is following down. So you can see it's starting to slightly go, but I would expect a big drop soon. And that is going to be, if it breaks past support, the same thing that I'm talking about is going to be, well, given that it touches the stop loss, right, is going to be about right here, around $19. give or take. And worst case scenario is if it keeps getting pushed around 12. You're looking at this major 3 points being, and what I mean by 3 points is exactly this. Let's just kind of give you a point. You have this one that's going to be a major, 21 bucks, right? And you that's horrible. You're gonna have this, which was the previous resistance at 15, and right here at 10. So this is kind of an area that you want to pay attention to as well if it starts dropping below that. Now, it could, of course, by all means, what we would hope is if it does touch this level, if it goes past here, it's going to drive a panic because it's already not a really strong, healthy market. It's going to drive a panic and the stop loss, and people are going to freak out and start selling. It's just not going to do it because this accumulation they're calling, it's not even accumulation. It's just no one's doing anything with it, and people are going to be buying. Usually, right now, a lot of inexperienced traders will be buying. And they'll be freaking out as it starts to fall. They'll sell, and not enough buying is going on, right? Especially as it's weak and weak and weak. So if not enough buying, the selling and the freak out will completely drive it further down. The stop losses will hit for the people that have already bought and are expecting to go up, and it will push it down as well. And I would expect around 14, 15, given if something kind of goes on here. So, I mean, right now Solana is 28 bucks, not the best performance since like how we were doing back in April. I mean, it was 141 bucks. I mean, like, it's dropped tremendously. Now we do want it to go up. We do want it to see that kind of shift up a little bit and to reach at least $80, which I think if it could manage to get back to the $80, it would be somewhat of a healthy point. Seeing from around $79 to around $96. This will be a point where it can start to kind of be healthy, but I do expect myself that it will drop a little bit lower. I'm not going to say a little bit, but a lot lower before it starts to reverse. But just not enough action across the board. I mean, across all crypto. That's what we're facing. So pay attention to this one and see what's going to happen. Depending on where you're going to go, what kind of trading you're doing. This is a moment if you like are going shorts. If you can go short on this. This is a moment for entry or to pay attention to for a moment of entry for shorts as well. I wouldn't go in, or if it could, be watching for a reversal. And if you can, for example, if it goes into a reversal point right here at 27, right, and it starts to kind of reverse and it starts to get really strong, it's a good entry point, especially and start watching again around 37 bucks. And then 46 to see where it's going to go. But even to exit out around 35 if you enter in. And if you take $1,000 or something like that, which I'll be doing if it starts to reverse and enter right perfect. If you can time your entry point just right, and you throw in $1,000, you can make a little bit of change. Or, 10,000, how much money you have to play with just with Solana. But my bet is that it's going to continue lower. I think that's what we're seeing now. It's not quite, we can't call that engulfing, right? But we can't call that a bearish engulfing candle. But this daily candle has got me a little worried, as it's showing that the buying that happened is just getting pushed out of the way. So watch for these coins, and you're going to be able to see. So these three. So we have Ethereum, we have Matic, and we have Solana. Pay attention to those, and depending on your kind of trading, this is going to be a good key point to entry. And I hope this video catches you in time. So speaking of time, hit the bell, and that way you're not going to miss it, because I'm going to start covering over a little bit more coins that are about to start performing another way. So whatever your trades are, if you're going to be trading, swing trading, if you're just day trading, if you're candlestick trading, and I like to do all of those, the confluence trading, all of this. Now, of course, I'm just going off candles here, right? I'm not really breaking it down to things, but I want you to have an idea that typically, just based off this, on the one point of contact, right, this is where we can look. So we can see that it's going down, and as it's getting right here, it's a key moment to put in. Now, you can kind of make your, whatever kind of trading you're doing, you can make that point. If it's going to be some kind of candle and it comes in the area confluence, potentially it can go up, or whichever. But I expect it to go down just by looking off the candlestick. Don't go off just one. Go off several different kind of trading methods and seeing what's happening. So follow all the rules correctly, because they do mean something, and they have their purpose, right? So don't just do that and expect. But looking from here, looking at the past history, looking at what's going on with it, I would say that it's still going to go down either way. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it will reverse and it'll go up. But these are the key points that you should be watching for in its price. So set your alerts going on. Even if we just to give you an example, let's drop down to the 4-hour chart, right? To see what it's going to do in the last 4 hours. It's gaining selling power, which is not something I would bet on, right? So that strength is getting there. Just for the 4 hours, and I expect it to continue dropping. That's my point. And even if we look past, let's go into the hour, right? Just to kind of give you even more, just to kind of clarify what's really happening. You can see it's not really getting any better. We still have 39 minutes, but I think it's still going to grow strength. It's going to gain more momentum, and then we're going to start touching this area of support. So hopefully not, but we'll see, right? So guys, thank you for joining. I will see you guys again next time.